Hi folks, I'm just going to run you through this rollback feature that we created. Basically, when you're logged in, you'll see your database, your login screen has a few new options here. If you click Shelf Database today, it's going to tell you that rollback features have been created, and then it'll actually go and create a front end and date to this today's date, and the data and date to this today's date, and link them together, kind of giving you a playground of sorts. But more importantly, actually preserving the database as of that date. So if I go here, I can see it's created a front 20. Incidentally, it'll create this rollback folder for you. You don't have to create it yourself. Okay, and then it'll create the front 2017-05-10, and I can actually open that. Just don't get yourself confused if you are doing this kind of thing during the day, and then later on start capturing in your preserved database, because you'll be obviously not working in the same data file that everybody else is in the school. But as I say, it's useful for preserving your database at a current point. Almost, I would just say that maybe do it on a weekly basis. So you could actually go back and say, well, this was my front office last week, exactly how it was, exactly how it was updated to that point, exactly the data that was entered, etc., etc. So you do have these reference points, and as I say, it can serve as a playground as well. You can use it to enter dummy marks, or do something that you're worried about. You're worried about the effect it might have. So you can create call it a restore point almost. And actually go to that and fiddle with that, and if you do something and you don't like it, you want to create the effect again. Sorry, let me just show you before we log out. So you can see it's linked to that data file. So as I say, if you come in here and you play with something and you say, oh well, I actually want to preserve the database again, I don't want that I've just done, then it would be as simple as clicking shelve again, and we'll just overwrite what was there. So that preserves your database for the day, and I would say, as I said, probably do it like on a weekly basis, or if you've got a lot of intense things going on, you could do it daily, but obviously it takes up space, and the front end is quite large in some cases, so don't do it unnecessarily. Then the next section, actually what this does is enables you to roll your actual front office, the one that you're currently working in, that has got all the latest updates, etc. It allows you to roll back your front office that you're busy working in to, it could be one of the databases that you shelved, it could be data 2016. So in actual fact, it gives you access to previous years as well. So if I could just bear in mind that in that case, let's say you do something like you roll back to data 2015, you may find that there's certain front-end features sitting in the current database that don't have, where data 2015 doesn't have the fields in to suit it, but you wouldn't be rolling back to that far a time period. What I really envisage this rollback feature to be used for is basically to export to SAMs, or to export in some way at a given date. Okay, so you would have been shelving your database before, and you'll shelve it on particular dates. As I say, that the department might have expected, like when they say they want a survey as of a given date, make sure you shelve it that day. And what you can do is you see now, but later on we might have added features to the export process, newer features to the export process, whereby you want to be using your current front office and not an old preserved front office. So in this case, you would select a database, and then you can go back to your rollback folder. I beg your pardon, to the folder where your data is kept. Okay, in my case, it just happens to be the CI sock, but yours would be the server. And you can see there's data 2017. Oh, I can roll back to say one that I saved yesterday or whenever the date in question was, and I say open, and then I say roll back to selected data. So my front office now will clear the links to the current data and link itself to the rollback data. Okay, that may take a couple of minutes, and you can actually check this by hovering your mouse over the tables. Select tables from your navigation panel or drop down list, and you'll see which data it is actually linked to. It's the 2017-0509, which was yesterday. Then I've done what I want to do. I've done my exports and I want to be back to my current data. You just hit return to current data and it will do the reverse. And when it's done, you'll see it'll tell you front office is linked to data current. Alright, so you can again check that, so it's linked back to the current data file. And yeah, that's basically how that works. This is also useful obviously for your more advanced users that do jump around quite readily, linking to different data sets. You don't even have to use the external data access functions anymore, but as I say, it's also useful for general users, particularly, as I say, the shelving of the database, which in a sense also acts like a backup. I mean, it's not going to be a backup against a computer meltdown or something like that, but certainly a backup in the sense that if you have a data corruption or something within the program needs to be reversed. It's very rare, but it can happen, especially with electricity power outages and things like that. But that's that feature, folks. Look out for more things to come